Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I wanted to take a second to talk about the recent Super Bowl performance by Beyonce, who performed a song called Formation, and apparently people were upset with the imagery of these beautiful black women wearing all black with, I think she had bullets on her shoulder, on her arms, and she gave just this great tribute to the black community, to Mario Peebles, and really, and also the anniversary of the founding of the creation of the Black Panther Party. I thought the performance was great, but Beyonce is always good. Beyonce is just the pinnacle of professionalism when it comes to the music industry. Now, of course, some people are not happy about Beyonce's performance. There are going to be some people who always will show some type of resistance when black people stand up for themselves. And people have asked me about that. They say, well, every time we do something for ourselves, people get mad, and that's not fair that people are getting mad, and I would just say that you have to get used to that. You have to take a second to realize a couple of things. Number one, stop living your life worried about what other people think about you, first and foremost. You've been trained to somehow think that what white people think about you really matters that much in your life. This is no disrespect to white people and what what they believe. They can be who they want to be. I'm not really here to talk about that. But just understand that there will never come a day when anybody ever congratulates you and stands up and applauds because you decided to love yourself. That ain't going to happen. No one will ever give you permission to love yourself. Ever. Ever. I mean, maybe maybe they can tolerate it, but they're never going to applaud it. So this notion that we somehow need permission from white people in order to do anything for ourselves, I guess that comes from slavery, where we're kind of used to white people kind of overseeing us and almost being like a parental figure for us. But it's really something that kind of has to stop. We have to stop always getting so instantly offended because white people are offended, right? Like, I'm mad that they're mad. They should be happy. No, they should. They're probably not gonna be. I'm not saying they should or shouldn't, but they're probably not gonna be happy because remember, your oppression is part of the condition for maintaining the white supremacy to which they become addicted. Their position in society is deeply connected, intricately connected to your position in society. It's like if we're running in a race, the fact that I'm 10 yards ahead, the way I feel about being 10 yards ahead depends upon the fact that you remain 10 yards behind. When you are no longer 10 yards behind, then I start to feel like I'm less ahead. So therefore, I might start to run faster or show some sort of resistance to the fact that you're progressing and gaining ground on me, or reversing our position, or whatever the case may be. So I just don't think that we should sit around caring about what people think about the performance, about black empowerment. We're certainly in a different era of the black community. I mean, there were things I used to say in '06, '05 that were considered crazy. My academic colleagues thought that I was going to get us in trouble because I'm being too black. And these are things that everybody's saying now, and I love it. I love the fact that I'm no longer the weirdo. maybe I get to be the visionary or something. Like, you were saying this stuff back in '07, '08. Yeah, I was, and you weren't really listening. And I wasn't the only one saying it. You got people like Minister Louis Farrakhan who've been saying this since the '50s. Okay. Now, another thought on this issue about Beyonce in particular and Jay-Z is that I can just tell you, I can just be quite frank and tell you that it was like pulling teeth to get Jay-Z and Beyonce to participate in some of the things that were going on in the black community. When Russell Simmons and I wrote that letter to President Obama in 2013 to ask him to deal with the incarceration epidemic, a lot of celebrities got on board, from Chris Rock to Jamie Foxx to Will Smith, etc. They signed the letter for us, but Beyonce and Jay-Z were nowhere to be found, and I think a lot of it was because they just didn't feel that these sorts of issues were worth their time, or maybe they didn't want to get involved. I don't know, because remember, for celebrities, it's all about the money. They're always trying to balance with the money. But if you notice, Beyonce is making her moves now. Jay-Z is making his moves now. And here's the thing, they have this old saying that says art imitates life, life imitates art, and they imitate each other. So what I really see, to be quite frank, is I don't necessarily see Jay-Z and Beyonce willfully leading the charge on issues that matter to the black community. I see the black community gaining its sovereignty from white supremacy, as well as its sovereignty from black celebrity supremacy, and we are leading the charge. It's not that celebrities are taking the lead and saying we're going to empower our people and we're going to lead our people to empower themselves. Celebrities are following the community. They're looking at what's happening in Black America and saying, whoa, if we don't get on this Black empowerment thing, we're going to get left behind. Now, on one hand, you might say, oh, well, that's disappointing because they should be leading the charge. Well, yeah, but you know what? They spend more time learning how to sing and dance than they spend actually learning Black history. They spend more time working on a good performance than they spend learning about the various political issues that many of us face on a day-to-day basis. So most celebrities that I've met, in terms of, actors and singers and dancers and athletes, have spent more time on their craft of sports or entertainment than they've spent on the various social issues that affect the rest of us. So in many cases, I'm just overwhelmed by how woefully uninformed some celebrities are. Like you look in Black Hollywood. I spend time in Hollywood. I told you guys this week I partner with the Real Network and we're shooting things in Hollywood. And being in that environment and seeing how competitive it is just to get even a basic opportunity because you're begging for white people to give you a job. I think that once these actors and actresses have fought through all the hell it takes just to get one opportunity, they're afraid to lose that, right? Imagine working your whole life for something and then you might lose it if you take a stand on a political issue. Well, it doesn't mean it's excusable, but you can understand why some people would be afraid to do that, right? Not everybody's going to have the courage to do that. And it doesn't mean we shouldn't speak up on that, but it is what it is, right? So long story short, let's keep forcing the hand. Let's keep moving forward as a community. The best thing that ever happened to Black people in the last 3 years, in my opinion, is that we let go of this sort of, unconditional loyalty and love for Black celebrities, quote unquote Black leaders, or people that were positioned by whites to control our minds. We've pretty much liberated ourselves from this psychological slavery, and now you're seeing that these people are realizing if they don't get on board, the community's going to tear your knees out. And I think that's the best thing in the world to ever happen, because I think that the intentions of the community, rank and file Black folks, everyday Black people who are working hard trying to deal with the stuff that we're facing out here, that's what's going to dictate the future of our community. That's what matters the most. Those are the purest and most noble intentions out there. A lot of other people have their intentions kind of diluted and thwarted by money. So keep being strong. I'm speaking at Millikan University this week, and I'm seeing these Black students that are very active and pushing hard and moving forward. And every campus I go to now, it's so different from even 3 years ago. And I'm just thrilled. I just love it. I love coming to campus, being the troublemaker, and inspiring the young Black students to take it to the next level. Because when we had campus protests at the University of Kentucky, which is the ultimate plantation, by the way, still is, we had a very hard time getting Black athletes to support us. We had a hard time dealing with the administration. We had a hard time dealing with the racism. We used to get death threats, all kinds of stuff. And now I think the window is opening. And so it's great to be able to share those old experiences with students today so that they can learn from what we fought through, so that they can actually change their environment for the better. And because remember, young people are the ones who lead a lot of this stuff. That's why, anybody over the age of 35 needs to make sure you empower young people to build and grow and lead and go out here and fight hard and give them guidance and give them mentorship, because those are the stars of the community right now. And the activists that are getting in the street, those are my heroes. And that's I tell you what, 20, 30 years from now, we will be talking about this era as one of the great eras in Black history. So right now, February